Almost 90% of women have cellulite. And guess what? It's not their fault. We don't choose cellulite, but we can choose a different way to treat it. Meet Quo, collagenase Clostridium histolyticum, AAES, the first and only FDA-approved prescription injectable for moderate to severe cellulite in the buttocks of adult women. This non-surgical treatment is injected by an aesthetic specialist in 10 minutes or less. Individual results may vary. Do not receive if you are allergic to any collagenase or ingredients in Quo or have an infection at the treatment site. May cause serious side effects, allergic reactions including anaphylaxis, and injection site bruising. Seek medical help right away for any signs of allergic hypersensitivity. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions if you have a bleeding condition or take medicine that prevents clotting. Most common side effects include bruising, pain, hardness, itching, redness, discoloration, swelling, and warmth at the injection site. Ask your doctor about all possible side effects and for product information. If you're ready to get to the bottom of your cellulite, learn more and find a specialist at Quo.com.
All right, stick with me here, Carter. We do the cast. We do the podcast. The monster cast. It was a graveyard cast. That's all I know. Those are the only lyrics I know to that song.
Merry Mini Monday, Chunky. I'm Carter.
I'm Doge.
And I'm the one-eyed, five-horned, flying purple people, Jordan.
It's like people are going to be like, I don't think Carter made an attempt to somehow harmonize with that, or he's sitting in a chair on a marble floor and it moved a little bit.
Well, apparently we all sound enough alike for newcomers that anybody who doesn't know us might think you were either one of those two voices.
You're just going to catch a squeak that maybe isn't really a word because I wasn't totally sure how to get in there. But I love that we change it up all the time. Speaking of change it up, did you know that our In the News section has a sponsor today?
Really?
Are you ready for this? Have y'all ever heard of Buster Poindexter and his Banshees of Blue?
No.
They've got that great song called Hot, 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 which is at the end of Bend It Like Beckham. But that's a Buster Poindexter and his Banshees of Blue song. But also our sponsor today for In the News. It's the news time. So our first hot starts with something that we need to talk about. It feels like there's this collection of it's almost like a sigh, maybe, at least in the friend groups that I have that spent a lot of time on this show called Game of Thrones, a very, very long time. And I know personally, and I might have mentioned it on this podcast before, there were moments in that show that I was like, this is my favorite show of all time. There were moments that I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. The production quality was, I remember the Battle of the Bastards, that episode. I was like, this might be the best 58 minutes I've seen of my life. And then, of course, things happen, and it's a big mess at the end. George R.R. Martin is now just essentially a punchline. He's not finishing this series. We kind of go our own way. Anyways, House of Dragon. Speaking of hot, the billowing fiery breaths of the dragons or the pets of the Targaryens. But we have House of the Dragon. We all watched it. And what happened this morning, Chunkies, before we recorded, is not really a surprise to me. Because I knew we would need to talk about this. And I also knew maybe these boys didn't watch the trailer yet.
It's true.
And so I'm like, hey, did you watch the trailer? No. Can you please watch it? Yeah. Hey, Doe, did you watch the trailer? I haven't. Can you go ahead and watch that right now? Yep.
His exact words were, I've been actively avoiding it.
Yeah, right. That's true. That's true. And I think it's just because just a bad taste in your mouth. And with this, from what I understand, House of the Dragon, much like what we're going to get with our Lord of the Rings series for Amazon Prime, is just kind of going hundreds of years before the big story happens.
Yeah.
And having kind of a story adjacent to the story we all know. But the trouble here with House of Dragons for me is that the worst parts of Game of Thrones were the things that people didn't actually know. Like, we're not taking this straight out of the book. Now, our directors are different. And what's so funny about watching a trailer now is I think there was a time a decade ago that if I saw the production quality, like if there's a trailer that's produced really well and it's a TV show, that's almost already enough for me to give it a shot.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
because of the quality of everything now, it's not quite moving the needle for me. I'm going to watch this show. I really am. I think I'm going to give it a shot. But it is not with the same amount of excitement that I would get when those opening credits roll and we get the gearbox of Westeros. You know, I think it's
Right.
just not, I
Yeah.
don't think they're, and that's what's tough. I don't think they're going to be able to fully take me back to the best parts of Game of Thrones. But how did y'all
No,
feel about the trailer?
I think I'm going to let you dip your toe in that water and let me know whether to get in the pool or stay out of it, because this trailer just looked kind of pretty generic fantasy action. The Iron Throne looks cool. I mean, there's a lot more swords this time, which hopefully directly translates to a lot more finished story for them to work with. They're adapting Fire and Blood, the Targaryen history stuff that Martin keeps focusing on instead of finishing his book series that he started 20 years ago. So that's at least something. Apparently the Targaryen history is finished. I have never ever, speaking of hot, I have never been more rapidly cooled on something than I was on Game of Thrones. I was deep in it, and then it felt like I was actively punished for wanting something other than,
Yes.
you know.
Well, you know what the thing
we
too.
have a whole episode. We talked about that.
Yeah, we
So,
did.
Yeah, the absolute slap in the face it felt like for me too was the Starbucks cup. Y'all remember that, right?
Yeah.
It was like
Oh,
they
yeah.
they
I'll
just
never
don't
forget.
care.
They just don't
They
care
actually
anymore.
don't
Yeah.
care
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah.
No, there was, so one of my, we'll call it many character flaws as a human being is my,
you're so great.
my ability, Stanley, you'll live forever. My ability to cut ties with any and everything and anyone at any given point if I feel the need to do so. And with Game of Thrones, it was like the finale finished. I took a couple weeks to like process how much I did not like the ending of that show. And I ejected all relevant knowledge of that shit. There was a time when I could have told you characters' names, their house, their alliances, the names of their swords, probably the name of their horse if their horse was given a name at some point. Like I had like encyclopedic knowledge. I have forgotten almost every detail of like beyond like important story beats of the show. It's all gone from my brain. I just I hit the eject button and it is all gone, which it's like a trauma response. Like if I look at it and I'm like, why did I do that? It's like, oh yeah, because I did not feel the need to keep any of that information anymore. And so I'll say this, I'm probably going to give this a try, because if this show is approached and feels like it's approached from a perspective of we beefed it and we know we beefed it and we're coming at this to try and fix / make up for what happened. Like this is our chance to do a different thing set in this cool universe and hopefully make it right, then great. But if this game comes in popping champagne and taking a victory lap from one of the greatest failed TV shows I've ever seen in my life, then I'm going to turn it off pretty instantly.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's going to
I
be
think
all
that'll
about perceived intention for me. Like, you know, the meme where the guy is popping the champagne and biting his gold medal and holding his hands up, and then it zooms out and he's in third place.
Yeah.
He's biting the bronze medal. If House of the Dragon feels like the guy biting his bronze medal and freaking out over being the worst person on the podium, then I'm gonna probably turn it off pretty quick.
Yeah. I think if
by all accounts, this is feels like it has a great shot of being that kind of Westeros apology tour from HBO, because they reportedly wanted lots more seasons, and David Benioff and DB Weiss are the ones that were like, no, we got it. We can land the plane right now, because they wanted to go make their Star Wars.
Right.
Yeah, I think HBO, it's funny, it feels like there's a lot of cards that can be played with the streaming platforms against each other. We already mentioned the Lord of the Rings show that Amazon Prime is going to do, and that'll be Amazon Prime's first big like fantasy or sci-fi epic. And it feels like HBO's kind of playing catch up now, because we've got The Foundation over at Apple Plus, and it's gaining a little bit of momentum from what I've heard.
Yeah.
And then Netflix, of course, has, you know, The Witcher and things like that. And so now it's like, oh, shoot, we got to get our thing back in here. But hopefully there's some thoughtfulness there. We'll see. I have no idea. We go from one hot to another, basically based off of the momentum of a good show. And this one actually ended well. Did y'all hear that it has been green lit by Disney Plus that Catherine Hahn, is going to be getting her own spinoff.
Amazing. No, I did not hear this.
No, I didn't hear that.
So we are going to have a Agatha Harkness show.
Wow.
Cool.
Which I think
Great.
is great. And it is so fun. I think there are tools now to where we can really reap the benefits pretty quickly of a show that's aware of itself, of like its own success. Because it feels like it's so easy to do that now. It's like, hey, because I don't think the intent from the beginning, I think they probably knew from what I've been reading about the production of WandaVision that Catherine Hahn was something special. I mean, like this role was going to be great. But I don't know if they knew that they were going to have this opportunity here. And that's fun.
Yeah.
Because especially with Marvel, I'm interested how this is going to work with the MCU, because the MCU tends to feel very methodical and play these things out. But again, the great thing about comic books is there's so much out there that they can probably still make it feel like this was the plan all along. But
there's something fun about sort of in complete antithesis to this Game of Thrones spinoff show. There's something fun about, like you're saying, Carter, a show that understands that its whole MO is kind of like, hey, give the people what they want, man. Like, they like Agatha, let's give them Agatha. Sure, here we go. And where the show, it feels like, can sort of operate with that mindset of like, what's this show about? Agatha. Yeah, she's here.
All along.
She's around. Yeah, the show has to be called Agatha all along, I think.
I would imagine. Yeah, maybe it'll show some history, like several generations back and forth. I don't know. They'll have fun with it. I'm down. Is that a yes for everybody?
I heard it's called House of the Agatha.
House of the Agatha.
It's 200 years before.
That'll be fun. I'm kind of also in if they're doing a side-by-side spoof of
Game of Thrones.
It's Catherine Hahn. Do what you want. Do what you want. We get to our final hot here. Hot. It is the growing momentum of the box office returning. And we could call this a little bit of our box office ball section or what have you.
Well,
but
and we caused it, I guess.
I guess we caused it. There's two movies. Two movies right now that as of today, which is October 11th, they haven't really hit our theaters. Actually, one of them has. But we don't have Dune yet, but we do have No Time to Die. Actually, of today, the day that we're recording. But No Time to Die already has about $120 million that it made overseas before it touched the U.S., which is a huge deal. And Dune has over $100 million. And this is still 2 weeks before it comes over to the U.S. And so we'll see. We'll see. It's something to be, I think, excited about. But I think, we talked about how Shang-Chi seemed to be the what broke the levee, even without a Chinese release, still doing really, really well. But guys, I think the kind of thing that gets me the most encouraged for the box office is that a movie like Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, has made almost $150 million.
Yeah.
And at the time of our recording, it's only been out for a couple of weeks. And so that lets me know that people are just down. I think it's more about just getting back to that environment of the theater than necessarily what you're watching. And again, Venom gets to have a little bit of the coattails of Spider-Man, thus the MCU.
Right.
And there was a big
I was going to say, I think it's residual Marvel heat.
It is, but it's still not, I think, what a lot of people anticipated that movie to do. And I couldn't be more excited for a subversion of expectations, at least in the sense of when it's a positive for my own box office ball purse, but just movies in general and going to the movies. Have you guys been back to Alamo since it reopened outside of the time that we went together? I guess
no,
Jordan and I went together for Shang-Chi.
I have not. I have a Alamo gift card sitting in my account, and they're doing a bunch of like Halloween screenings. So I'm trying to find a free weekend to go see. Like I think this weekend is Shaun of the Dead. That would have been really fun.
Shaun of the Dead is
we're busy.
Great. That would have been a fun one.
But yeah,
that would have been a lot of fun. In terms of fun, though, I think it might end on this episode of this podcast because we are going to play extra credit.
Yeah.
Guys.
Okay.
It's been a while.
Oh, can we pick the Swedish guy from Midsummer? I love all his movies.
No. It's not going to be that. We have a special Halloween edition here. I'm taking the names of some of the biggest spookies out there, have my own little spin on it, as I often do, and then we'll work based off of that.
What movies is Frankenstein in?
Basically, no.
Cool.
So a movie coming out this season, Halloween Kills.
Frankenstein.
From what I hear, Jamie Lee Curtis is actually going to kill Jason. Like Jason's going to be.
That's
sorry,
crazy,
Mike Myers.
'cause
Mike
Jason's
Myers.
not even in those movies, so that's insane,
I beat you
dude.
to it. I beat you to it. I'm so sorry. Oh. Mike Myers is actually going to be dead.
Shrek? She's going to kill Shrek?
You've fallen into my own trap
Okay.
here.
Oh, no.
So why not start? You don't have choices today. We're going to start with Mike Myers, the actual real Mike Myers that the villain Mike Myers is based off of.
Sure. Can we cut out the part where I snort laughed about 48 seconds ago? Is that okay? Can we
No,
go and
we're gonna
snip
keep it in.
not.
We're
We're gonna keep it
bass
in. We're
boost
gonna
it.
crank it up.
Absolutely not.
We're gonna verb it out. We're gonna live inside that snort laugh.
Absolutely not. So I think we've done Mike Myers before, guys.
Have we really?
Oh, I'm sure we have. Yeah, probably when we reviewed Shrek.
I feel like I have a very strong Inside Out style core memory of something involving the Love Guru, whether it was a throwaway joke vote or guess, or maybe
No.
it's actually in his top 4.
I think the Love Guru is in his top 4.
That's crazy.
Would you like to
man.
find
Are
out
you
right
sure?
now?
No, I don't
Before
want
we-
to start on Love Guru.
I'm going to give, because it might have been a while. I think it's only been 2 weeks since we played this. But extra credit is the smash hit game brought to you by 2 Chunks and a Hunk.
And Hasbro.
That is a lot of fun, but mostly torture. It uses the IMDb algorithm, which is about as easy to ride as a desert worm. That was bad.
That's okay.
It's just really bad.
I wasn't gonna
They're gonna have 3 actors that they get to choose the top 4 credits or guess their top 4 credits according to IMDb's algorithm in terms of many things: popularity, awards won, how involved they were in that movie. And then they have an opportunity to get 15 points because when you get all 4 right, you get an extra credit. But all they need is 9 to win. And so we're starting with Mike Myers, and they think they have an idea of where to start. Back to you guys.
I don't think Love Guru is a good solid start to
No,
anything.
we have to know. I think we have to start with it because we have to know.
Okay.
The Love Guru, lock it in.
Yeah, sure. Lock it in.
Bing, 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 bing,
I hate
bing.
that. I hate that so much.
The Love Guru is number 4.
So stupid. That's so dumb. I mean, Shrek,
Austin Powers,
right?
for sure. Yeah, which Austin Powers, though?
What's the first one? Is the first one The Spy Who Shagged Me?
I think so. Yeah.
I think it's that or Goldmember.
I think it's The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Yeah, let's go. Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Bing, 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 bing. That's number 2. And it's number 2 in the Austin Powers series.
Oh, that is?
Oh.
I guess I don't remember the name of the first one. Wait, is the first one Goldmember? Dude,
The first one, are there 3 Austin Powers?
man, if there's 3,
That's-
then my brain doesn't
That's
work
the
right anymore.
other hypothetical.
Honestly,
that we're
Goldmember
postulating
might
right
be
now.
up there too.
You think he's got 2 Austin Powers, a Shrek, and a Love Guru?
I think he has got 2 Austin Powers, a
This
Shrek and a Love Guru.
Wonderful,
Or
beautiful
SNL,
artist
it could be
contributing
up
to our
there.
society. No, I would be surprised.
You want to try Goldmember?
Yeah.
Austin Powers Goldmember,
Yeah.
lock it in, perhaps?
Goldmember, lock it in.
Bing, 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 bing. Number 1.
Number 1, yeah. Is that the first one?
That's the 3rd one.
What is the first one called? It's probably in there. He can't tell us what it's called. Do you want to go for
No,
Shrek?
I would if you wanted to guess that, you don't have to know. I'm not going to have you have to know whatever's past the colon.
Right. I think I'd almost rather guess Shrek, but
I would too. Yeah.
you want to go for Shrek? Lock it in?
I have this weird hesitancy
With Shrek?
that it would be like Shrek 2.
Really?
That Shrek 1 wouldn't be in there. But yeah, let's try Shrek.
I'll follow your lead here, but I feel like Shrek 1 over Shrek 2. I would rather watch Shrek 2, I think, but
Yeah, I think I would too.
doesn't mean
Shrek.
anything. Shrek, lock it in.
Shrek 1, lock it in.
Bong bong, but a good start. 3 of 4. That's the pace you need to win this game.
I'm actually kind of glad we didn't get Mike Myers perfect.
Number 1, Austin Powers, Goldmember, 2002. Number 2, Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, 1999. Number 3, Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery,
Okay. Oh.
1997. And number 4, 2008, classic, playing Guru Pitka, The Love Guru. How off? I mean, that is just
Yikes, Mike Myers.
not
Yike Myers.
not very good. So back to Jason, by the way. That's the one. He's the one from Friday the 13th, the one with the hockey mask.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? So let's do a little bit of, I'm going to let you pick your Jason. How about that? Pick your famous Jason. Put them in the IMDb. Put them in the algorithm here. There's Jason Sudeikis. There's Jason Bateman.
There's Siegel. There's Statham.
Statham. Momoa. Isaacs.
I feel like Siegel, Sudeikis, or Bateman are our sweet spot.
That's my trinity. That's my 3 holy Jasons. Talked about this before. Never sad to see any one of those gentlemen in anything I'm watching.
I say we go for Jason Siegel and see what happens. Give it a shot.
Okay.
Why not, right? It's Halloween. Let's get spooky.
Why not? Why not?
How do you spell his last name? I know now, but it took me a bit.
Isn't it just Segel?
It is.
I think it's Seagull.
Bing, bing,
Siegel.
bing. You get 5 points for that.
Woo!
No. So we've got 4 movies here for Jason Siegel.
Okay.
You already have 3 points. You just need 3 to stay on that pace.
You have 3 movies and a TV show because How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, How I Met Your
is
Mother
definitely
has
in his
to be in
top
there.
4. So let's lock that in.
Him, lock it in.
Bong bong. It's really a bong bong.
No, it can't. It literally can't be. It's the biggest thing he's ever done in his entire life.
That is insane to me.
It's bong bong. Dude,
How
I'm
I Met Your
sorry.
Mother is not in Jason Siegel's top 4 on IMDb.
That is insane to me. Are you serious?
It's absolutely insane. No, it is not in the top 4 on his IMDb. I thought for a bit that Jordan was frozen on his Zoom screen because he was just like,
I honestly think this is the closest I have ever come to cussing while our microphones are live on this podcast.
I don't think anybody listening to the podcast is going to be like, yeah, I get it. Like that, I don't get it. I'm sorry. But hey, you chose this. This is your fault.
I went to dunk
It's not your fault.
thinking I was going to break the backboard. And when I landed, I realized that the basket was about 12 feet behind me. I just jumped in the air
dunked on the
holding a
other team's
basketball.
goal.
Yeah, I just jumped in the air holding a basketball for no reason.
Oh,
Dude,
man.
I don't know then. I mean, I know I got guesses, but are you kidding me though? Like that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, that's particularly devastating.
No
Forgetting
sense
Sarah
is
Marshall,
made.
lock it in.
Yeah, lock it in.
Bing, 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 bing. Number 1.
Yeah.
See there? Feels good.
The 5-year engagement probably with Emily Blunt. Or no, not Emily Blunt. Is it Rose Byrne?
Hey, as long as it's Jason Siegel, it doesn't matter.
Is it Emily Blunt? I don't remember. I bet 5-year engagement's up there, is my point.
Yeah.
5-year engagement, lock it in.
A bong bong. You got one more guess.
Muppets.
I actually think the Muppet movie has a great chance of being
Yeah, I
in
do
his top
too.
4.
Muppets, lock it in. I'm done.
Yeah, lock it in.
Bing, 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 bing. Number 2.
Yep.
So you have 5 points. You could still win this game. So number 1, Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Number 2, The Muppets. Number 3, The End of the Tour. Don't know much about that one.
I hear it and I fully 100% reject it.
And number 4, number 4, Sex Tape.
I hear it and I fully 100% reject it.
Is it like a Game of Thrones style trauma response, Jordan?
Absolutely not.
Oh no. Oh no.
So stupid, IMDb. How I Met Your Mother is not. It's so dumb.
So we have also A Nightmare on Elm Street
Freddie Prinze
With the
Jr., let's go.
with the great Freddy Krueger.
Let's do it. Freddie
I'll let
Prinze
you
Jr.
pick. I'll let you pick any Fred.
How many live action Scooby Doos did he do?
I'll even let you do like Alfred Molina if you wanted to.
No, Freddie
Freddie
Prinze
Prinze
Jr.
Jr.
Freds? Pick any Fred?
Freddie Prinze Jr. I just said
Fred
It's over.
Armisen. But it was. Sorry.
Dude, there's like no Freds.
Freddie Prinze. I don't know what we're talking about here. Freddie Prinze.
Freddie
Jr.
Prinze Jr., Fred Armisen, Alfred Molina, Fred Willard.
Fred Willard. We could do Fred Willard.
Eddie Fredmayne.
Yeah, Freddie Fredmayne, my favorite actor.
I love that he was like, you could still win this, and then dropped Fred on us.
I think we should pick Freddie Fredmayne from Fredtastic Beasts.
I'm down. Let's do it.
I think we should pick Freddie Prinze Jr. and be true to ourselves and who we are as people.
Okay, fine.
Slam dunk
Freddie
this show
Prinze
home.
Jr. Let's
I
see
can
if we
name-
could get Freddie Prinze Jr.'s top 4 perfect.
I can name one thing.
Honestly, I bet Star Wars Rebels is up there.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I bet you're right.
I bet we could get 3 of his top 4, actually.
Yeah, maybe. I don't remember the subtitle of the Scooby-Doo live action movie with Scrappy on the Ghost Island theme park thing.
You're talking about Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed?
No, it was the first live action one where they were on the island with the theme park.
I think that was just called Scooby-Doo.
Was it?
I don't think it had a subtitle.
Did it not? There were two live action Scooby-Doos with Matthew Lillard as Shaggy and Freddie Prinze Jr. as, right?
Right. Yeah.
And what's her face? Buffy was Daphne.
Yeah, was Daphne.
And they're married now, right? Freddie Prinze Jr. and
I think so, yeah. And
so that's
Linda
Cardellini.
so Hawkeye's wife.
That's the end of what I know about Freddie Prinze Jr. That's sort of a walk through Freddie Prinze Jr. Via
It's Jordan's Freddie Prinze walking tour.
Via my knowledge. Freddie Prinze Jr. So let's go with the live action Scooby-Doo. Lock it in the first one.
Okay, hang on. We're doing Freddie Prinze Jr. For real, yes?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, Scooby-Doo, lock it in.
Scooby-Doo, lock it in.
Bing, 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 bing. Number 2.
Number 2. Yeah, Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. Lock it in.
Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed, lock it in.
Bing, 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 bing. Number 4.
Star Wars Rebels. Lock
You
it
have 7
Star
points.
Star Wars Rebels, lock it in.
Bong bong.
Okay. I don't know. I'm struggling to think of anything else he's done. I know he's really famous for like a big thing that I can't remember. Wasn't he on a TV show? Like a Dawson's Creek styled like teen show?
I think so.
Because he was a heartthrob before he played Fred.
And then became even more.
Wait, wasn't he the voice of Fred in an animated Scooby-Doo stuff for a while?
Probably.
You want to just guess the animated Scooby-Doo TV show? Because I don't know the name of, because there's about a dozen different animated Scooby-Doo TV shows.
Do you want to just guess miscellaneous other Scoob?
Yeah, I mean,
Can we do that? Are we allowed to just be that general?
Well, I just don't remember.
Animated Scooby-Doo show.
I don't remember the subtitle of this, because there's like, What's New Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo Mystery Inc. Like, I don't remember the subtitle of.
I bet it's Scooby-Doo Mystery Inc.
Dude, you can't. There's so many. You can't just shoot from the hip at the subtitle of the Scooby-Doo
We have
show.
to, though. I don't think we could just be that, like, animated
He said we could just say
I think
first Austin Powers movie for Mike Myers.
Carter, the Arbiter. Carbiter.
Yes.
We need to know. Do we have to guess the subtitle of the Scooby-Doo show that we think he might be in?
Nope.
Okay, well, that means that it's not in his top 4, so let's just... There's no
Hey,
consequences.
the first Austin Powers was in Mike Myers' top 4, and he said we didn't have to guess the subtitle.
Okay. Animated Scooby-Doo show. Lock it in.
Bong bong.
Yeah,
you
for
got
sure.
7 points, though.
Good for us.
You
man.
got as much Freddie Prinze Jr. right as you did one of your Holy Trinity.
Which
Jason
really
Segel.
sums up the entire problem with IMDb's what's it called?
Algorithm.
Thank
Number
you.
1,
Algorithm.
She's All That.
Yeah,
1999 classic. Number 2, Scooby-Doo. Number 3, 3 of his top 4 are with Sarah Michelle Gellar, who y'all talked about earlier that was playing Daphne. I Know What You Did Last Summer, 1997. And then number 4 was Scooby-Doo Monsters Unleashed. A good game. Another good game. And being October and being the scary season, Chunkies, I'll let you know it's not the last time we'll see extra credit this month.
Good.
Man,
That's very
Freddie
exciting.
Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar have been married for 19 years. Can I just say good for them?
Way to
Almost
go.
20.
That's
Almost
a
the
long
big
time
2-0.
in Hollywood. That's a
Those two-
long
Yep.
Hollywood marriage.
Those two have been married for longer than most college freshmen have lived. Isn't that crazy?
That's so true, dude.
Or have been married.
Or have been married.
Or have been married. To end this episode, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a release, I guess. I'm going to ask for your name, and then I want you to tell me in any horror movie style, like what should my penalty be for making you play this game?
Mm-hmm.
I'm Carter, and I'm going to do a little bit of throwback to Cabin in the Woods. I'm going to say, put me on that elevator. I feel bad sometimes, and have me open up and whatever random amount of horrors come through, flooding through the elevator door. I'm gonna give y'all that. It's cruel. It was good podcasting, but it's cruel.
It's cruel. It's cruel friending.
Cruel friending.
That totally sounds like the name of like a crime soap opera. Cruel. It's cruel friending. I'm Doge, and I think the machines are going to bust down your door, put you in one of those little placenta pods, jack your brain into the matrix, and now you are the IMDb algorithm. It's the IMDb Carter rhythm.
I gotta say that makes me cringe. Have you seen The Matrix? Who hasn't seen The Matrix?
Jordan hasn't
Yeah, I've
seen
seen
The
it.
Matrix.
That's wild. When they put that thing in the back of his head, I was always like,
Spoilers, guys.
oh.
So
I
the
haven't had
Matrix,
time
it's
to watch
about
it.
it's about machines. Like it's like bad, evil robots that take
Basically.
over people. Yeah. Just didn't want you to be lost.
Thank you. I'm Jordan, and my horror thing that I would do to Carter, is like feed him to a T-Rex,
Yeah.
make a big T-Rex eat him.
Dude, so scary.
I make a big T-Rex eat him.
Right off the porta potty, dude.
2 bites.
I'm just trying to poop.
2 bites though.
Oh,
Yeah.
I deserve it.
Yeah. First one, he just nicks you. He misses a little bit.
Oops.
Just gets an elbow.
Big hand and little arm.
Just gets an elbow, then he finishes. Horror.
Get stylish, durable flooring for your home that will last a lifetime. And get it installed with help from Lowe's. Get Stainmaster Pet Protect carpet starting at just $199 per square foot. And Pergo Wet Protect laminate starting at $249 per square foot. Both with limited lifetime warranties. Order now, only at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. Install available in-store only and through independent contractors. See Lowe's.com for details and licensing. U.S. only. See Lowe's.com product detail page for more warranty information.
From earaches to strep tests, there's Minute Clinic at CVS. See a provider, fill a prescription, and grab essentials. Or see us online with telehealth options. That's healthier made easier. Visit Minute Clinic at CVS today. Services vary by location. See MinuteClinic.com for details.